Low budget
ファミ
game.
のマスクがありますので。
かぶっていただけますか。
During the PlayStation era, Sony started making both high-budget games and low-budget games, which allowed them to experiment with a lot of subjects, as well as try out new ideas. There were no expectations about PlayStation games, so they could do whatever they wanted. While Final Fantasy VII and Metal Gear Solid were impressive with their ambition, they did not set the standard of what a game could be. Yet. While Sony published a bunch of small games on the PlayStation, the definition of what a video game should be, according to gamers and journalists, evolved towards very ambitious games with a lot of money. But what about the smaller budget games? Well, Sony published some on PS2, but then the digital age happened. Well, physical copies of games with lower budgets that did not cater to the modern gamer would cost a huge loss of profit for Sony. Releasing the games digitally would cost a lot less. But then the PS4 happened. Sony barely published anything experimental on PS4. Unless you maybe count the PSVR 2. It would rather cater to the modern gaming audience by releasing AAA, big budget, cinematic Hollywood. Their new strategy is pretty much to buy timed exclusives from indies. That counts, right? Either way, it's kinda sad of seeing a gaming company that used to want to make a diversity of games to make the kind of same games over and over again. However, during the Wii era, Nintendo was mostly focused on the same franchises, kinda started to experiment again, mostly digitally with WiiWare as well as DSi. The same thing happened with the Nintendo 3DS eShop, but there weren't a lot of Nintendo published experimental games on the Wii U. Most Nintendo fans ignored them because it's not Zelda, Mario, Pokemon, F-Zero, whatever. I don't mind Nintendo games, but you know, going through the fandom, it feels like these people just care about brands and not about video games themselves. But then again, this is a vocal minority on the internet. Most people who like video games don't comment over and over and over and over. Either way, Satoru Iwata, who kind of started this initiative, passed away. Ever since, Nintendo has quietly stopped publishing games with a lower budget and has mostly focused on what they already know, as well as accessories and gimmicks. They also focused on paying for timed exclusives on Nintendo Switch. So it's whatever. Because of that, Big Brain Academy was shadow dropped, which made gamers complain a bit, but everybody want to Switch was the last straw. Nintendo fans were so used to the high gaming standard that they clowned on this low-budget game, and then proceeded to get mad because it's not F-Zero. Again! So I doubt Nintendo is ever going to make a low-budget game again. With one last thing I wanted to specify. Apparently Nintendo refused to give more funding to the game to polish it, so that's why it was announced quickly. So yeah, it still proves my point that Nintendo does not care about budget games right now and would rather focus on big budgets. But at least we got indies, I guess, as well as WarioWare. So yeah, this was my rant about low budget games and why it's never gonna happen again, as well as how the gaming industry can be corrupted by capitalism. This video may be a bit of a downer, but we got indies.